You are live. You are live, and what are we looking at? We're looking at the latest developments in the AI industry on Twitter. Let's see. Let's see. OpenAI is integrating. So OpenAI is deep. I just hit mettre en jour. I just hit update on my Codex app, and it's very funny. Codex app right now has a weird error where you hit the update button, mettre à jour en français, and it updates, and then it again shows another update button, which is very weird. But oh, some beautiful stuff. Create a dashboard of recent user growth. Add plugins for the work you do. Data analytics, product design, creative production, sales, investment banking, public equity. PluGCL. Wow, plugins are called PluGCL, and it's not loading. And okay, beautiful to see. All new Google icons. The Gmail has beautiful icon. Google Calendar, yes. Computer use. Adding computer use, developé par OpenIA, Open Intelligence Artificielle. Data analytics, investment banking. Let's see. Investment banking, help me get started. Applications. Moody's PitchBook Quarter AI powered company search, really cool. Compétences, their skills, really cool. There's NVIDIA. You can add NVIDIA, and these are all icons by mix of OpenAI and Google. Linear SharePoint. Oh wow, it's like Microsoft and Google have recently developed new icons, and then ChatGPT has its own design system, or OpenAI has its own design system, and they have created their own icon. And this is looking very interesting now. Automatisation. I love langue de français parce que il y a beaucoup de choses intéressantes. Il y a beaucoup de choses intéressantes, et j'aime bien les prononciations. Et c'était intéressant comment j'étais capable de parler avec le grand-père de mon ami, et c'était incroyable. C'était une expérience incroyable parce que c'est vraiment un incident où tu réalises, tu te rends compte, est-ce que tu as le compétence dans est-ce que tu as la compétence dans cette langue? Parce que tu es maintenant tu parles maintenant avec une personne native, et c'est vraiment une incroyable façon de comprendre. Est-ce que tu es vraiment capable de parler cette langue? Donc, pour cette raison, j'aime bien le français. D'accord. Is there anything interesting over here? Live fact check. Travailler sur un projet. Ajouter un nouveau projet. Vitesse. Approfondie. Très approfondie. Codex. Let's go, Codex. Alright, ChatGPT hit 1 billion. Australia's megaport said on Wednesday it has secured for 4 new infrastructure contracts worth $458.9 million. Anthropic is filing for IPO, expanding access to organizations. So what they're competing for, they're all racing to drive down the cost. So Anthropic, what is Anthropic's goal now? Anthropic's goal now is that can we serve more customers than OpenAI at a cheaper price than OpenAI? Can we build better products than OpenAI? What this all means is that they are all racing to help us. They are all racing to serve us. The only way to win is who can serve the most number of people, which is good for humanity, which is good for all of us. Specialized business styles, product design, investment banking, and seeing explosive growth. Microsoft announced 7 new homegrown AI models. Enterprise adoption is accelerating with AI driving revenue, cutting costs, boosting productivity across industries. Budgets are increasing as companies see ROI. Infrastructure boom and hardware evolution. Massive capital raises for compute. Alphabet planning 80 billion equity raise for AI build out. 80 billion equity raise. Wow. AI infrastructure deals proliferating. Australia's megaport securing big contracts for inference clouds. Shift toward efficient model, specialized hardware, and even discussions. Okay, something interesting happened is that Microsoft has announced devices. Microsoft has announced specific agent devices, AI agent devices, and this is incredible because what started with Rabbit, humane AI, is now, which started as an experiment, is now going to be led by one of the biggest companies. So what these guys truly had to do, like these guys have the expertise, they have already built out a product, they have started selling that product, and you truly become like the experimentation research lab for a massive company. And all of that is again going to be an experimentation for Apple, which is the end because Apple is just going to wait. They are not going to be the number one. They're not going to be the number one to launch a product over here. They are just going to see all the collateral damage in the industry. Is this product even worth it? What is truly happening? And once you see the market, once you see where the market is going, once you see what the user truly want, then you release your product. So that has always been the Apple strategy. I think it's kind of different with Vision Pro. Maybe not so different because Vision Pro is also just built out of VR, and everybody has tried VR. VR came from Oculus, VR came from Meta, bunch of devices from Meta, and finally Apple kind of went for Vision. And today Vision is again back on the chopping block, as we say. Shift towards efficient models, specialized hardware, even discussions of space-based data centers. Nvidia continues dominating with stock performance amid AI rallies. Self-improving AI and research acceleration. This has been the goal, where you just have consistent AI research happening and consistently AI helping improve itself. You have AI goes out, gets feedback from reality, gets feedback from the world, it comes back, understands what could be improved, and then again researches, improves it, and then again throws out in the world. So this is a cycle that the goal of research acceleration is. New model architectures and run experiments and create a meta level breakthrough that could accelerate progress further. ASI ARC discovering novel design. This points toward AI becoming true scientific collaborator. What is this? Shocking. AI can now conduct its own AI research, not just optimize models, but discover. And how many likes? 337. Lol. AlphaGo moment for model architecture discovery. Okay. We have an update on Twitter, and it's our friend. Okay. We basically have a friend who found us on Twitter. The researchers compared this moment to AlphaGo's famous Move 37. If AI can improve AI research itself, progress may no longer scale only with human researchers, but with computer and autonomous experimentation. Validate results automatically. Regulatory, geopolitical, and societal ripples. Europe's AI Act enforcement advancing. US executive actions on oversight and model access. Geopolitical. I think there's also this idea Bernie Sanders proposed that 50% of all these public companies must be owned by the American public, which is very, very interesting. Geopolitical competition intense on chips, models, and talent. Stanford 2026 AI Index notes a widening gap between AI capabilities and governance readiness. Vertical AI applications, healthcare, and debates about and eventually a bubble deflation versus. Do you think money will lose its value? It seems like money is losing its value as all the top frontier labs are racing to drive down costs and serve humans with better products with cheaper pricing. The only thing that makes sense is that that all this intelligence, the pricing of all this intelligence is coming down. Thinking about your request, analyzing the economic impact, deflation or abundance. No, money is not going to lose its value in the way you are describing. The dynamic you are observing. Frontier labs racing to make AI intelligence dramatically cheaper and more capable is real and powerful, but it points more toward technological deflation and rising real wealth than currency collapse. Could impact mortgage rates. Understanding the price drop in intelligence. Yes, the cost of intelligence is plummeting. Inference prices have dropped orders of magnitude. Models are getting more efficient and competition is fierce. This is a classic productivity driven deflation in digital goods and knowledge work, similar to how computing, internet bandwidth, and solar power became vastly cheaper over time. When AI automates tasks, marginal cost approach zero for many when AI automates tasks, marginal cost approach zero for many information-based products and services. This increase supply dramatically, which puts downward pressure on prices. That's a feature, not a bug. It means your money buys more intelligence, goods, and services over time. Money's value in an abundant world. Deflation from productivity is generally positive. Raise living standards. Your dollar stretches further. Economists or ringgit. Wow, it knows that we are a network school right now. Okay. Economists often call this good deflation, like the 1990s internet boom. Money doesn't become worthless. Okay. Let's move to a seat. Let's move to a seat. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Much better. Much better. Okay. Much better. Falling prices for AI tools, software, content design, coding analysis raise living standards. Your dollar stretches further. Economists often call this good deflation, like the 1990s internet boom. Money doesn't become worthless. Currency's value comes from its role as a medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account for scarce resources. Even with super cheap intelligence, physical scarcity persists. Okay, let's see. I like this office. I like this office space. This is a streaming spot. Currency's value comes from its role as a medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account for scarce resources. Even with super cheap intelligence, physical scarcity persists. Energy, land, housing, rare materials, human attention, status goods, experiences, and prime real estate won't deflate at the same rate. Energy, land, housing, raw materials, human attention, status goods, experiences, and prime real estate won't deflate at the same rate. Demand shifts. As basics get cheaper, people spend more on higher order things. Luxury, health, travel, customization, creativity. This creates new markets, new scarcities emerge. Trust, originality, human connection, novel ideas, and governance regulation of AI itself. Trust, originality, human connection, novel ideas, and governance regulation of AI itself. Central banks target mild inflation around 2% and have tools to manage deflationary pressures. Historical tech waves, electricity, computers boosted overall economic output and wealth without destroying money. Target mild inflation and have tools to manage deflationary pressures. Energy, land, housing, rare materials. Housing as a scarcity is also weird, right? Like, why is housing a scarcity? Human attention, status goods, experiences, and prime real estate won't deflate at the same rate. As basics get cheaper, people spend more on higher order things. Luxury, health, travel, customization, creativity. This creates new markets. Trust, originality, human connection, novel ideas, and governance regulation of AI itself. Central banks target mild inflation, have tools to manage inflationary pressures. Historical tech waves, electricity, computers boosted overall economic output and wealth without destroying money. Potential downsides and risk, uneven distribution. If gains concentrate among capital owners and AI firms while displacing jobs quickly, it could reduce aggregate demand and cause bad deflation, falling prices, falling wages, debt burdens. So analysts warn of the spiral if unemployment spikes without safety nets or retraining. While displacing jobs quickly, it could reduce aggregate demand and cause bad deflation. If unemployment spikes without safety nets or retraining. Investment versus returns. Massive capex on AI infrastructure today is inflationary in the short term. Energy chips, data centers, even if long term effects are disinflationary. Transition frictions, productivity estimates vary widely. Zero point 0.3, 1.5 plus percentage points added to annual growth, but realization depends on adoption speed, bottlenecks, and policy. Advances in AI will boost productivity, living standards. That said, most analysis project net positive GDP growth, higher living standards, and disinflation rather than collapse. But realization depends on adoption speed, bottlenecks, and policy. Massive capex on AI infrastructure. Massive capex on AI infrastructure today is inflationary. In the short term, even if long term effects are deflationary. Broader perspective toward abundance economics. In the longer run, decades, extreme AI driven abundance could shift incentives. In the long run, extreme AI driven abundance could shift incentives. Money as we know it becomes less central for survival needs, evolving into a tool for signaling status, funding big projects, or allocating attention. Some thinkers talk about post scarcity elements where creativity, purpose, and relationships become the real currency. In the longer run, extreme AI driven abundance could shift incentives. Money as we know it becomes less central for survival needs, evolving into a tool for signaling status, funding big projects, or allocating attention. Some thinkers talk about post scarcity elements where creativity, purpose, and relationships become the real currency. Creativity, purpose, and relationships become the real currency. But we are not there yet. AI is still early in diffusion, and human desires tend to expand with capability. History shows technology multiplies wealth rather than making money obsolete. Cheaper intelligence is making the pie bigger and more accessible. Your money is likely to gain purchasing power in many domains, not lose value. The winners will be those who leverage the cheap intelligence to create value in the remaining scarce areas. This is an exciting transition, not the end of economic value. Give me one very interesting example how using Claude, was able to transform a very traditional practice or traditional business into extremely efficient and a beautiful output. Very random, but let's see. They're going to be looking at a bunch of case studies. Let's see. Is an architecture deeply traditional, hands-on profession rooted in centuries-old practices of manual drafting, iterative sketching, site analysis, and regulatory compliance. Architects historically spend a huge portion of the time, often over 50%, on tedious documentation, BIM, building information modeling, coordination, code checking, and producing drawing schedules rather than pure creative design. This bottlenecks projects, inflates cost, and limits output. Using Claude, particularly with tools like Claude Code, Claude Cowork integrations for design workflows. Claude acts as an agentic collaborator. Architects upload site plans, client briefs, local building codes, and existing drawings. Claude then autonomously handles zoning analysis, generates concept variations, creates detailed technical documentation, populates BI models in Revit or Rhino via context protocol, suggests compliant structural assembly details, even produces presentation quality diagrams or client visuals. Teams report shifting from weeks, months of manual iteration to hours or days for initial drafts and revisions. Claude auditing and rewriting complex automation rules for energy efficient designs, or producing full drawing sets with dimensions, tags, and schedules. Students and professionals have used it for landscape modeling, sectional perspectives, and generating editable Illustrator files for presentations. The beautiful part, outputs aren't just faster, they're often more polished and creative. Claude maintains brand firm design systems, colors, typography, styles, ensures consistency across deliverables, and allows rapid exploration of aesthetic options while staying grounded in real constraints. Very interesting. Grok is getting slowly, everything is getting slowly and slowly better and better. It's incredible to see all this, and it's incredible to see all this up, upgrade. So this is what Perplexity looks like. Schedule. Search, deep research, moral counsel, free plan, discover, system that splits AI tasks between PCs and cloud. Workers should be paid as much as possible. All-time high ahead of WWDC. Internet Perplexity demo hybrid AI system and Computex. AI trading via cloud. Apple ships foldable iPhone prototypes to carriers worldwide. What? So Apple is actually doing foldable phones. Exclusive rights to liquid metal technology, amorphous metal alloys 2010, but has used the material sparingly, most notably in SIM ejection tools. The foldable iPhone represents by far the most ambitious application of the technology. Liquid metal, exclusive supplier of the alloy. The material is valued for its resistance to deformation, its potential to reduce or eliminate the display crease that has plagued competing foldable devices from Samsung and others. iPhone Ultra or iPhone Fold will feature a book style design with a 7.8-inch inner display. Trending companies, CarMax, Red Wire Corporation, outsold every other Mac in its debut quarter. M4 equipped MacBook Air, which shipped roughly 900,000 units. The Neo only went on sale March 11. It, its total was accumulated in fewer than 3 weeks of the quarter. A18 Pro chip, the same processor used in the iPhone 16 Pro rather than the M-series silicon found in Apple's higher-end notebooks. Bring the starting price down to $599 or $499 for students and educators, well below the MacBook Airs. Force Apple to ramp production, supply chain sources reported in late March, double its MacBook Neo production to target to 10 million units. Two to 3 weeks. Gamble on an iPhone class chip inside a full Mac laptop is resonating with price conscious consumers, though whether the Neo cannibalizes higher margin MacBook Air sales remain a question the company will face in coming quarters. Majorana 2 quantum chip at build. Results that are harder to dismiss. The company says the new processor represents a major leap in qubit reliability and has moved up its standard for delivering a commercially useful quantum machine. Assistance from its discovery platform, which uses agentic AI to accelerate material research. The company announced it is making discovery available to outside researchers. Two Microsoft's largest bet, artificial intelligence and quantum computing, by using AI agents to explore material combinations and optimize fabrication. Microsoft said it was able to identify the improved design faster than traditional methods will allow. It's really cool how all the design language is coinciding. A lot of little things that you see happening. Wow. A lot of little things that you see. This is so cool. The design is converging. The good design is converging. People have figured out that what is a good design, and now we are all moving towards that one design. Like when you are using Perplexity, you want to see the Perplexity logo, but everything else should be hidden so that you can focus on what you are here for. And that is what's happening. People are constantly going towards that, okay, how do we refine design so that the content comes up and everything else is hidden, which is very interesting. Topological quantum computer by 2029, and we're in 2026. IBM said it would invest more than $10 billion over 5 years to build a large-scale quantum computer by the same target year. Intelligence at work. Full merger of the two products. The move will integrate Codex's agent capabilities and ChatGPT interface, aiming to help business users who already know ChatGPT understand. Okay, let's quickly check this one. If I open ChatGPT and I open Codex, Everything is getting so much better. Everything is getting so much better. Okay, let's try Codex Mobile. Gérer les connexions. Gérer les connexions. Okay, let's see. Blue. Codex. Prashant's laptop. Local. Connexion. Ok. Ajouter une connexion. Am I connected? Okay, so it's working. It's working. I can manage. Wow. It's getting really powerful. It's getting really powerful. Non-developers, including analysts, marketers, designers, and investors, account for about 20% of Codex users and are growing more than 3 times as fast as developers. Sources. Codex for every role. Data analyst plugin. This is really cool. This is really cool what we just saw. Wow. Finding work with annotations, Rosalind, biodefense. Available on AWS, a new personal finance experience at ChatGPT. How to pay off or mortgage, the realistic monthly plan I could actually follow. Rally is anthropic IPO filing fuels your optimism. Oh, what? Maurizio Catalan's comedian was noticed by security guard on Saturday afternoon at the Centre Pompidou Metz, where the work is displayed as part of the exhibition, and Sunday. The museum reported the theft to police on Sunday and filed a formal complaint. Already been replaced and the work has been restored to its original presentation as quickly as possible. Undermines the respect due to the works on display and temporarily deprives visitors of part of the experience offered by the exhibition. Visitor ate the banana shortly after the exhibition opened. The fruit has been consumed on multiple prior occasions by performance artists at Art Basel, Miami Beach, when the work debuted, and by an art student. The museum emphasized that the value of the work lies in its certificate of authenticity and then the protocol governing its presentation rather than in its perishable element. A version of Comedian sold at Sotheby's in November 2024 for 6.24 million, including fees, far exceeding its pre-sale estimate of 1 million to 1.5 million. PUC described the work as a sincere commentary and reflection on what we value. If I had to be at a fair, I could sell a banana like others sell their paintings. I could play within the system with my rules. The art newspaper. The institution nevertheless condemns this act, which undermines the respect due to the works on display and temporarily deprives. I could play within the system, but with my rules. I could play within the system, but with my rules. 30,000 person layoff. RX1, Europe's first sovereign robotics research. Odyssey is a free open source AI workspace. Smartphone sales amid record market decline. Huawei. BYD targets solid state battery. Okay, so what does what happens? Is it true that the price of intelligence will keep driving to zero? Won't literally drive all the way to zero, but will get extremely close to most for most everyday users approaching near zero marginal cost. Current trajectory: AI inference, the cost of actually using intelligence has already fallen dramatically. Cost for equivalent performance dropped roughly 1000x in about 3 years. GPT-4 level tasks went from high prices to pennies or less per million tokens. Prices are falling 9x to 900x per year, with medians around 50x, 200x annually in recent analysis. With a 90% reduction by 2030 for large models. Intelligence is becoming a commodity with near zero marginal cost like electricity or bandwidth today. Why not literal zero? Energy and infrastructure have floors. Running models still require power, data centers, and chips. Converge to the cost of energy. As renewables get cheaper, this floor drops, but it doesn't disappear. Frontier capabilities remain expensive. Cutting edge reasoning, massive context, or novel breakthroughs won't be free. The best models will likely stay premium. Total spend is rising. Unit prices crash, but usage explodes. AI bills growing even as per token cost falls. What this means economically: this is good deflation for cognitive work. It mirrors what happened with computation, storage, and connectivity. Prices plummet, abundance, new value creation on top. Builders who use cheap intelligence creatively, custom agents, vertical applications, human AI hybrids. High cost knowledge work gets disrupted. Value shifts to data distribution, trust, physical goods, energy, and unique human elements. We move toward an abundance economy where basic intelligence is like tap water, cheap and ubiquitous, while scarcity moves elsewhere. Attention, originality, land, experiences, novel inventions. For practical purposes, in most domains, this doesn't destroy economic value, it multiplies it by making intelligence universally accessible. The real opportunity and risk lies in how society and businesses adapt to this new reality for super cheap smarts. Tell me how the price of energy is driving to zero. Okay, let's see this one. Is literally driving all the way to zero, but the marginal cost on your electricity from renewables is getting extremely close to zero. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. You can just start an agent that goes and works for you for whatever you want. If the goal is freedom, it can go out and find all the everything about that for you. Sous agent. Okay, very interesting stuff. We have started like a agent. Amazing.